Today I'm looking at some videos that we put together about fake service dogs versus real service dogs. So let's get right into it. Let me know in the comments what you think as we go through this. That way I know what your thoughts are as well. So we got the Shih Tzu. Obviously that's the fake service dog. Yep. Still under training.
Okay. What was that? That service dogs don't do that, but that's okay. I get it. Okay. Thank you. It's not a service dog. Unbelievable, dude.
Very common at this H&B. That's an actual service dog.
Yeah, it is. Thank you so much. Sorry about that.
Is that where they're at, H&B? Still barking. This guy's got his German Shepherd. Obviously, good example of what we see a lot. You know, you got someone that has their dog out in public. They're in a grocery store in this case. But with that being said, you know, you can take a service dog in training to places that service dogs are able to go to. However, you need to make sure that your service dog is actually a service dog in training. What it looks like these people are doing is they're not doing any training. They just wanted to take their dog with them to the store, and they called it a service dog, which does a disservice to people that have real service dogs like this guy that's recording the video here. But, you know, what are some things you're looking at? Like with a service dog in particular, your dog needs to be really good out in public places, right? Have public access, good manners, you know, not barking like this other dog's doing. Like as soon as that dog's on a extendable leash and pulling through the door, I already know, like not a good situation, right? It's not in training and it's not a real service dog. So don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. If you got a real service dog or a service dog in training, good to go. But don't be the person that just has to take your dog everywhere and claim they're a service dog. That's not cool. Especially to the people that have real service dogs, we're doing them a disservice. Service dog in training, what we were just talking about. All right, so I think this is a great example. They even said at the beginning of the video, this is a service dog in training, and we can tell that they're doing a training session. It looks like they're training this dog to pick up things for the owner. This is a trainer, and they're using a laser pointer to point at an object they need the dog to go pick up and bring it over to the shopping cart. So they are actually doing active training. I don't think this guy needs a wheelchair. He's sitting in a wheelchair to simulate the owner so they can train the dog. Very nice dog, by the way. And one thing I haven't talked about yet is like service dogs, they need a great genetic blueprint, right? You can't just take any Joe Schmo off the street and make him into a service dog. Service dogs, real service dogs, have to have a great genetic blueprint. They need to be able to be social, right? We don't want a dog that is reactive or fearful or scared or these kind of things. Now, if a dog has low levels of that, we can rehabilitate those things in a lot of cases and potentially have that dog be a service dog. But you will see some people that take their dogs out for service dogs and the dog's reactive, scared, insecure, barking, you know, these kind of things. Those dogs should not be service dogs. But this is a super nice dog right here. You ever wondered what it's like?
Hallo. Das ist ein Blindhund. Excusez-moi, j'ai besoin d'un siège, s'il vous plaît. Vous êtes sur les lignes tactiles. Ah! Ah! Achtung, links! Achtung! Achtung! Attention! Pardon. Ah! Ah! Pas de chien, s'il vous plaît. Oh!
Guide dog. I wonder what country this is. Switzerland. It's a nice dog. Sniffing the lady. They're going up the stairs. Nice. So many reactive dogs out there. The service dog's just trying to do its thing. Yeah, very nice dog.
Hello.
It's got to be stressful being someone that's blind. You have a guide dog, and then you hear dogs reacting, but you can't tell what's going on, you know? But this lady is using a walker stick to help, you know, with her walking. She's hitting a couple dogs with it. So she might be able to see to a certain degree, but I know there's different stages of blindness and everything. But this video focuses on this dog's experience. Ever wondered what it's like to be a guide dog? And if you see those two kind of poles sticking up off the dog's back on their harness, I forgot what that's called, but it's basically a handle. And the person that is disabled, they hold on to that handle so they can feel where the dog's going and the dog can guide them. But super good dog right here, good genetics. Some of these dogs reacting at it, it's not really affecting the dog. The dog seems to be doing a great job navigating the person around. Great example of a service dog. Really nice dog right here. Let's check out some of the comments. Oh, this is the person. Hello, my name is Amanda. I'm 28. Para-athlete from Switzerland. We are glad you had the video is interesting. If you want to learn how to make it different, okay. You can buy our book, you support, blah, blah, blah. I hope she was talking more about the dog. It may be hard to be blind, but I'm noticing just how hard it is to be a guide dog or service dog in general. For sure, that's a good point. You know, if you're a guide dog or service dog, you have to navigate all this stuff that we see in the video and not be distracted by it, stay on task. So, again, service dogs have to have a great genetic blueprint to be able to do this and a high level of training as well. How real service dogs behave at the airport. 2 dogs. Now, this is something that I've trained before. You stay on one side of the metal detector, then you call them through. Wonder if they're doing training right now because she's kind of moving back and forth. Training never ends either. I don't know if they're service dogs in training or if they're service dogs. Got a kid. All right, so good example right here. There are 2 service dogs, right? Or 2 dogs that are service dogs in training. And she's walking through the airport. We got good adherence through the airport. They're not pulling or anything, not reactive, at least that we can see, moving through the crowd easily. The metal detector is a big deal, so you can have them do a sit stay, stand stay, down stay. You walk through, then you call them through. That's a great way to do that. So good to see they're training for all that while she's waiting on her luggage and her kid. You know, the dogs are waiting, so very great example of how service dogs should react, should behave, right? If dogs can't do this kind of stuff, then they shouldn't be service dogs, right? Or they need more training. Let's check out some comments. Not all. What's this person saying? Well, not all dogs have the same mindset when they're a service dog. Even if you train the dog, it would still do things that make people think they're not a real service dog. That's an interesting comment. My thought on that is, you know, service dogs trained a certain way to do a certain thing. They are still a dog. But if they're not at a high level for what you need to do, then they're a service dog in training. Add to this too, even though a perfectly trained dog out of advanced training, some people don't realize how much dedication and commitment from the handlers it is to maintain and sustain exceptional public access like that. Kudos to you. That's a great point. Just because you get a service dog trained doesn't mean training's over. Training is always occurring, and you do have to maintain training. That's a good point. Perfection. Like it. All right. Oh, wait. What's this comment? You know they're not actual service dogs because there's 2 of them. And there's no need for 2 service dogs. This is just a pet and a pet owner. That is an interesting comment. You know, it is interesting to know like why there would be 2 service dogs instead of 1. Maybe one's in training. Because the one does look kind of older, the bigger one. So they could be training the new one as the older one is getting in toward retirement. So that could be what's going on. You do have to think about that. Unfortunately, dogs age faster than we do. That is an unfortunate thing. Yeah, someone else asked about 2 dogs. I'm thinking, based on what I'm seeing, that the older one is getting close to retirement, and they're training the younger one to take over for the older one. Someone said emotional support dogs are not service dogs. That is true. Emotional support dogs are not service dogs. They do not have the same access rights and everything. But you should still highly train them. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know your insights. Look forward to hearing them and seeing that. And I'll see you guys in the next video.